Welcome back, Junkies on 106.7 The Fan. We are live on NBC Sports Washington, and we want to talk about the NFC East. We've been talking about it a little bit throughout the show. With Washington winning, they are just 2-5, and it's crazy to think about it. Cakes didn't want to hear any playoff talk a couple weeks ago, but I think you have to talk about it, Cakes. Given the win, given the state of the NFC East, given the Cowboys looking as bad as they do. And by the way, could you imagine doing radio in Dallas today? We had Sean and RJ on the show on Friday, and I think they both thought that Dallas was just too good for Washington and was going to win. Well, they are in complete shambles. The Giants are a one-win team. Do we think Washington can pull it off and win this division?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
I think Philly wins the division ultimately.
I think a lot has to kind of go right for them. I'm going to eliminate Dallas. Okay, I'll be surprised if they win more than a couple games the rest of the way.
Right.
Just the state that they're in. I'm leaning Philadelphia just because of the quarterback, and if they get healthy, I know their schedule's brutal, but they have the best quarterback in the league or in the division. So it's down to Philly, and then, of course, the Washington Giant game is huge after the bye.
I would lean Philly because of what you said, but I mentioned this earlier, and if you want to chime in, 800-636-1067. They have 5 non-division games left. So they've got 4 games left with the division. Their non-division games are at Cleveland. Cleveland's 5-2. Seattle, they're 5-1. At Green Bay, they're 5-1. At Zona, they just had a big win against Seattle. They're 5-2. And the combined record is 24-8. Like, they have a really tough schedule outside of the division.
Yep.
They barely beat the Giants on Thursday Night Football. You know, if Daniel Jones doesn't fall down on turf, if Evan Ingram doesn't drop a pass.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're better, though.
They played that game without Miles Sanders.
Understood.
They played it without a lot of their offensive skill players.
I understand that, but I'm just not buying into the Eagles being this prohibitive favorite. I said I would lean towards them, but I won't rule out Washington winning it.
I know that the Eagles are right there in the same bucket of yuck with everybody else in the NFC East. I don't think they're great. Obviously, nobody's saying that. I'm just saying that of the 4 teams in this division, I think Philly's slightly better. Jason touched on it. I think because Wentz is showing he's turning things around after a really rough start. We saw the rough start against Washington football team. I don't think Washington's going to sweep Philly. I think that's what they would need potentially to win the division. I think they're going to drop a few other division games. I like Philly slightly better than Washington and New York.
Well, Washington only has 3 division games left. They're 2-1 in the division, so they have the best division record.
JP, no one's saying that Philly's the overwhelming favorite. I mean, come on.
I think there are a lot of people that are saying that.
I think you can win this thing with 6.
I don't think they're overwhelming by any stretch, slight, and I lean that way, and I just gave you the reasons, but I wouldn't be surprised. Look, it's 2020. Wouldn't be surprised.
We can win this. We can win this. We're a different team. Are you ready for that? We're a different team with Kyle Allen at quarterback. Now, doesn't mean that we're great. We're not. But we're more efficient, and we're more accurate. We're a little more athletic. We make a little bit smarter decisions, and it's the most important position on the field. And we're just a little bit better. And our opponents just sit up perfect. We have 6 games out of the last 9. 6 games where they're toss-up games where we're a legitimate shot at winning. We have 3 games guaranteed losers. I would bet money line, throw all the money on the opponent in 3 games. But 6 games are toss-up games, and if we win 4 of them, I think we can win the league.
Well, 6 out of the 9, EB, have losing records.
Correct.
So 6 out of the 9 games they play are teams with losing records.
Right.
So the schedule, just if you match up schedules, they're a half game behind the Eagles right now. But the schedule is easier for Washington than it is for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let me just look at this. So you say there's 3 guaranteed losers. That puts you at 2-8. Okay? So you're saying out of the other 6.
We can win 4 of them. I mean, I think we can win all 6. But let's say realistically we go 4-2 in 6 games where they're bad opponents also.
You probably got to go 5-1, though, to get the division.
You think 6 won't get us there?
I mean, 6 could. I mean, obviously it could. I just think that
I'm just saying I think 6 is realistic.
Is
what I
Philly going to win 4
year.
games, though? So the reason why you would give Philly the lean is because then Philly would have to get to 6 wins, which would actually be enough because they have that tie, right? So do you see 4 wins on Philly's schedule which would keep them ahead of Washington.
It's hard.
They'd have
It's
to
hard.
sweep the
They
NFC.
beat the
East.
Cowboys. They could beat the Giants.
They're going to beat the Cowboys Sunday night. All right, if they lose to Ben DiNucci, because there's no chance Dalton's playing. If they lose to Ben DiNucci, fire Peterson.
No, they'll win the next two.
And then they get the Giants.
They should
can
beat
win
them.
That. I mean, that's a toss-up because of what just happened, right? But if they win those two, then yes, they're going to get some. They're going to get two other games somewhere because they play Dallas again. They play Washington.
Right, but they're going to probably lose to the Browns. They're probably going to, for sure going to lose to the Seahawks. For sure going to lose to the Packers. For sure going to lose to the Saints. I would say they're for sure going to lose to the Cardinals, and it's going to come down to the Washington game. Season's coming down to the
I'm not going
to
say they're going to definitely lose to the Browns. The Browns were a last-minute drive away from losing to a 1-5 team.
They just score a lot of points.
Okay.
I don't know. That's all. I just feel like they score a lot of points.
I'm just leaning that way.
It's never as simple. It's never as simple as just saying winner, loser.
It's not.
So
it always ends up weird, but I have it going down to the final
I lean your way, but I could easily see it coming down to that last game.
It could be for the division. Yeah.
And, Philly could easily lose some of those division games that were giving them, dubs.
Yeah, I suppose they could lose to the Giants.
They could lose to the Giants.
They'll beat Dallas next week because Dallas is so bad. But they could lose to the Giants.
Does Dallas bring in another quarterback within a week? Because, I mean, you can't really start Ben DiNucci. You just can't.
All right, well, no, they probably won't. But
you got to bring in somebody off the street.
Who are you going to bring in?
I don't know. Anybody but Ben DiNucci.
Who are you going to bring in? They're not going to know the system at all. We have
I
no
don't know.
chemistry.
I don't have
with
the
anybody.
answer. I'm just saying that starting Ben DiNucci is a guaranteed loss. It's a loss.
I think starting someone that you pick up off the street's a guaranteed loss.
I don't know. I think you might be able to get a guy who can adapt your system in a week.
All right, well, we'll have to find out what they do.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
But bottom line, just scratch the quarterback position. Do they look like they're in, with the other 21 players are in any winning mode right now? They're not.
No.
There's no winning mentality in Dallas right now.
Right. Dallas is cooked.
I think they're
How much money is Mike McCarthy stealing from Jerry Jones? I'm gonna have to look that up.
What's
it's
his
gotta
deal?
Be like,
how many
it's
years
gotta be like
is his
$5
deal?
or $6 million a year, right?
How many years is his deal?
I think he's on like a 3 or 4 year deal.
Well, he'll be lucky to make 2 years.
He'd be lucky.
He'll be lucky to make 2
years.
years.
I mean, if all the players hate you.
Yeah.
I just saw somebody, I think it might have been Sean, who comes on the show from 105.3 The Fan, retweet that they interviewed two guys. They interviewed Marvin Lewis and Mike McCarthy.
McCarthy got a 5-year, listen to this,
Yeah.
$30 million deal.
Oh, my God. What a great country.
Good for
you. You think this
Mike
isn't the
McCarthy.
greatest country ever?
Wow.
This country rules.
Oh, my God. He's gonna be getting checks with the Cowboy star on them sent to his mailbox in Wisconsin or wherever he lives for the next 4 years for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's amazing.
So the Cowboys signed Garrett Gilbert last week.
Right, but he was inactive.
He was inactive. So, I don't know, maybe Gilbert starts ahead of DiNucci.
Well, that's a guaranteed L, too.
I don't even remember, DiNucci being horrific. I didn't think he made a couple nice throws. I didn't think he was horrific.
But he's a 7th-round pick rookie.
Yeah, right. But, I mean, why would Garrett Gilbert be any better? I mean,
He won't be. Yeah. That's my point to Cakes. I don't care who you sign off the street. You're probably not going to beat another team.
Unless he could trade for, and he probably wouldn't play this week, but unless you trade for Ryan Fitzpatrick, which I don't see. A couple people have tweeted that.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't see
or
Miami.
Trade for Jameis.
I don't see Miami doing that because Miami's going to turn to Tua. They're a contender this year for a playoff spot.
They're going to need a backup.
Yeah, you keep the veteran backup.
Yeah.
But maybe there's something out there
because Miami probably feels like they're in the mix for the division.
Right.
I don't see them doing that.
All right, I want to bang out calls. We do it when we come back. I know we've got a couple
Yes.
people. Let's try to let's see if we can just lock the lines up.
Same question?
800-636-1067. Yeah, it's very simple. Can Washington win this division? I'm saying they can. Who's with me? JP, you're kind of with me? That's
I mean,
two.
I would.
Cake says no.
I lean Philly, but I do not rule out Washington winning this division.
Okay, we'll see.
Because I'm not
JP's
sold
on
on Philly.
You're on the fence. If you're going to be on the fence, I'll be on the fence.
Okay.
I lean Philly.
I'm not on the fence.
The question wasn't will they, it's can they. A week ago, none of us believed it possible.
Correct.
Now we believe it possible.
Because now it's a double thing. Now you know how bad Dallas is, so they're eliminated.
Right.
So literally they're eliminated.
Correct.
Okay? So now it's just between, The Giants are not good. I mean, there's no way the Giants are winning the division. It's impossible.
That's not impossible.
That's not
I don't
impossible
I
think
say it's impossible. They're not winning.
Why
It's
couldn't they
between-
beat
if
Philly
you
and
were-
I
Washington?
don't think they're coached that well. I don't think they're that good. They've got huge injuries at critical positions. I'm saying it's not possible.
I think that anything's possible. And since the Giants are a win back of those other two teams, it's going to be more tough
The
for
Giants are
them.
going to lose next week, right?
But I just think that, well, we'll
They're
see.
gonna-
But I
necessarily.
think any of the three
the
teams.
Bucks are going to smoke them.
Yeah, they probably will. Any of the three teams probably can. It's tougher for New York because they're one win
2,
back.
3, 4. I just see they play the rate. They have so many losses coming up. Dude, we're winning the division.
This,
All right,
We're
so-
winning the division.
6
All right, how
wins
much
is
you wanna
going to
bet?
win the division.
$5. Put it
Nobody.
in.
I'll say this.
$5.
I'll bet you nobody wins 7 in this. In the
No, I'm
division.
saying with 6.
Yeah.
We're winning with 6.
6 is winning this.
So you think
division.
they
winning
win
the
with
division.
6 and 10 wins it?
Yep.
I think
6
so.
and 10.
Or
6 and
6-9
10.
and or
it's going to
6-9
go down to the last game
or
against Philly.
6-9 and 1, Jason.
Right.
Because I don't see Philly getting to 7, but maybe they will.